Today's video is brought to you by SWAT Magazine, Survival Weapons and Tactics. Subscribe now at the link below or call 1-800-673-4595. SWAT is available in print and digital editions. That's SWATmag.com. It is abundantly clear to me that we are on the verge of complete societal breakdown here in the United States. And I know to some of you out there, maybe you just tuned into this video for the first time. That sounds a little crazy. But looking at the indicators and what's happening, things that are resonating with me at this given point in time are the blow-off top that we're seeing in the stock market. I mean, we are reaching all-time highs, never before seen in American history, post the 2008 collapse. Now, Ben Bernanke, head of the Federal Reserve, chairman of the Fed, can't even indicate to the American people in the financial markets that he's going to step off the gas pedal of quantitative easing and the monetization of our debt here in the U.S. Anytime he does that, the market sells off dramatically. Now, the U.S. dollar got slammed and has been slammed over the past few days as a byproduct of comments from Ben Bernanke, who's very fearful of letting up on these billion-dollar, which are amounting to trillions of dollars in purchases of mortgage-backed securities and other liquefaction measures to push this market and inflate the bubble higher.
So that seems to me consistent with the idea that we're still adding liquidity, we're still adding accommodation to the system. Well, when we as I recall, I believe I have this right, when we introduced the second round of LSAPs, popularly known as QE2, in I think November 2010, there was a lot of increase in commodity prices at that time, and there was a lot of complaining that the Fed is pumping up commodity prices, and that's a negative for people around the world.
But what is incredibly scary about this is this bubble is much, much bigger than what popped in 2008 and ruined many people's lives here in the United States of America. Now, I want you to think back and remember what it felt like in 2008 when the markets collapsed and President George W. Bush at the time came on camera and said that there would be chaos and anarchy in the street. Remember, when the bailouts were sold to the American people, our government, your government, came to the American people and said that there would be martial law unless they unloaded trillions of dollars worth of bailouts.
The only way they can pass this bill is by creating and sustaining a panic atmosphere. That atmosphere is not justified. Many of us were told in private conversations that if we voted against this bill on Monday, that the sky would fall, the market would drop 2,000 or 3,000 points the first day, another couple thousand the second day, and a few members were even told that there would be martial law in America if we voted no.
What ensued was a bailing out of the same Wall Street banksters that robbed us and raped us in the first place. Now, what's transpired since that time? Because it's been, 5 years since 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, approaching 5 years since the collapse, and they're still easing. They're still buying mortgage-backed securities. They are still inflating the debt, approaching $17 trillion. But what is clear to me is not only do we have a racial divide in America right now, which has been completely engineered and manufactured by the Obama administration, revolving around the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman case. I mean, the stories I'm reading in the press about George Zimmerman should be hung and people attacking others, white and blacks fighting, is very scary to me and is an indication of a societal breakdown that I've never seen in my lifetime. But what is going to be coupled with that, in my opinion, is also a financial breakdown and a financial crisis worse than 2008 that will make that look like a church picnic. And this is very scary. You know, I hear people now, it's like there's short-term memory loss here in the United States. People were so fearful, didn't know if they were going to die in 2008 after watching their home prices collapse, going through foreclosure, bankruptcy, many people losing their life savings. A lot of people committed suicide And we read about this. Billionaires committed suicide, threw themselves in front of train tracks after losing everything. You don't hear President Barack Obama talking about those lives lost or likening those people to members of his own family. And you don't hear Obama talking about the sad loss of Anwar al-Awlaki's son, who was drone striked by the president. I mean, this is all fact. That's not an opinion. The President of the United States murdered an innocent child who was only in his early mid-teens.
For the record, I do not believe it would be constitutional for the government to target and kill any U.S. citizen with a drone or with a shotgun without due process.
The death of al-Awlaki is a major blow to al-Qaeda's most active operational affiliate. The death of al-Awlaki marks another significant milestone in the broader effort to defeat al-Qaeda and its affiliates.
But here's what's crazy is that this is about divide and conquer mentality here in the United States. This is the political strategy, and it's exactly why it's been manufactured. So instead of getting so caught up in this, race war, which is being engineered for you to control you, to drive a reaction, to provide a smokescreen for the financial collapse that I've just talked about, to provide a smokescreen for what's happening geopolitically overseas with these egregious, gross wars in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, and the continuation of the George Bush era policies of surveillance and wiretapping here in America. This is all a smokescreen from what's really happening. Scandal after scandal. Benghazi, Snowden, the IRS, the NSA, on and on. This to me is giving us early warning signs of a complete societal meltdown. Because I want you to put yourself in the perspective for a minute. Imagine a collapse worse than 2008. Imagine that transpiring in the not too distant future with this racial division and societal division that is currently taking place with these race riots in places like Oakland, California, this extreme racial division that has been created by the Obama administration. This is the recipe for disaster. This is the recipe for complete societal breakdown in America. We need to do something about it. We need to educate more people. We need to enlighten more people so that they understand when the Dow Jones Industrial Average collapses more than 50%, when there is chaos in the streets and there is a Mad Max environment in the United States and a new war is launched, equivalent and on par with the wars that transpired in history, World War I and World War II, what breaches into the next great global war. The people need to understand that this has been manufactured, this has been created, and this has been engineered by those in power. Corrupt individuals in Washington and Wall Street, engineering this heist, engineering these wars. Just like they created the largest transfer of wealth in the history of man in 2008, and all of it was sucked away from the middle class to the hands of the same people we ended up bailing out. This is all a part of the program. Power, wealth, and corruption at the highest levels of government and power. That's the truth, America. That's the truth. We have a societal breakdown coming to the United States. And if you're not prepared, you're going to be very, very sorry for it. I'm Christopher Green. You've been watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television, and I just deliver the Daily Wave, hard-hitting and in your face. And if you like this video, please share it everywhere. Subscribe to me on YouTube at cgreen34, Facebook at Greenwave TV, and Twitter at Greenwave. And please click the link below and support our sponsor. Thank you very much.